It's not often that I make a second video on the same piece of equipment, but as I've got so many, is this new Yonex Exbolt 68 a replacement for the legendary BG80 or even a replacement for the Yonex Aerobite? So here I am. No, the Exbolt 68 is not a replacement for the Yonex BG80 or the Yonex Aerobite, and one of the reasons is this. This special material is Yonex's forged fibre, and here's a sample of it. I've also added my index finger for size too. A few days ago I posted my in-depth review about the new Yonex Exbolt 68 badminton string, and I compared it alongside the rest of the Yonex Exbolt badminton string family, the 63 and 65. Watch it here if you haven't already. And for some reason everyone online seems to think that because the Exbolt 68 is a 0.68mm string, it must be a replacement for the BG80. Or even the Yonex Aerobite, because the Exbolt 68 had good texture and control as a 0.68mm string. Sorry to burst your bubble guys, or cut your strings in this instance, but the BG80 and Aerobite are not going to be discontinued, but the Exbolt 68 will be introduced alongside and in addition to these two amazing strings. Like I've said in my in-depth review, the Exbolt 68 will be a star in its own right as a string classified for durability. As players and consumers, it's always nice to have more options. Remember to have peace of mind and protect your precious badminton rackets from chips and scratches with the premium racket protection tape with free delivery worldwide from ckYW.com/shop. And here's my opinion on the Exbolt 68 when compared to the BG80 and Aerobite. In terms of hardness feeling, the BG80 will have its signature feel and is certainly harder and sharper compared to the Exbolt 68 and Aerobite. I find the Aerobite and Exbolt 68 to have fairly similar feel in terms of hardness. In terms of control and how grippy the string is on the shuttle, all three strings are great at it, but obviously for me, Aerobite will be the winner in this case as it's got the stickiest feel and the shuttle's cork will be biting onto it big time. But the BG80 is certainly no slouch in terms of control, and hence it's also a reason why it's so popular with so many players. I will also say the same for the 68 as it's got very good control, but because it's a different hardness of feeling coming from the 80 and 68, you might find the 68 to be softer, and that feels like it's got more hold time for the shuttle on the string bed. So I'd say the amount of control you have is quite similar, but just a different feel. One is softer whilst the other is very crisp and sharp. For Impulsion, I will pick the Aerobite as my winner as it's got a super thin aerosonic string as part of the hybrid structure. You all know I love Aerobite and I love the feeling of thinner strings, so this one was always going to be a winner for me. After that, I'll pick the BG80 as second before the Exbolt 68 coming in very closely behind. The reason I picked BG80 as second for Impulsion is again from the very hard, sharp, crisp feel. It feels like the shuttle just comes in contact and pop, it's gone, whereas the 68 has a little bit more of a hold time as it's softer, isn't it? Certainly not bad at all for Impulsion for the Exbolt 68 as a 0.68mm string. For durability, the winner is the Exbolt 68, hands down, big time. For those of you who follow my Instagram account, you would have seen that I was at the Yonex UK's Exbolt String Tour where the players got to try all of the new Exbolt strings, including the new Exbolt 68. And the Yonex stringing team also strung the Exbolt strings of their choice for them afterwards. All for free too. And since my first video, I've also added quite a few more hours of court time at the Yonex Exbolt String Tour event, as well as a few more private sessions on my own too. By this time, I'm 18 hours in on court time with the Exbolt 68, and it started to notch, but not frayed yet, so it's pretty durable in my opinion. In terms of durability for Aerobite and BG80, I find them to be quite similar durability wise. It's all down to how many sessions you play per week, what tension you have your racket strung at, how hard do you hit, and even what type of shuttles you play with too. Also, I do think Yonex might need to update their ratings scale as they continue to develop better strings. I think many of the ratings were established when the strings were initially developed or launched. So for example, the BG65's rating would have been decades old and probably the same for the BG80 too. From my personal experience, I don't think the BG66 Ultimax is as durable as the BG80 and certainly cannot see the 998 outlasting the BG80 too. Getting it updated even with 0.5s in the rating systems in consideration with the latest strings such as the Exbolt family would perhaps provide a more accurate overview of the performance, which ultimately helps us players and consumers with our purchasing decisions. Finally, make sure you subscribe to my channel as I'll be doing some tests with Yonex's forged fibre, which is one of the unique materials which Yonex has developed for the Exbolt series of badminton strings. Forged fibre is used in all three Exbolt strings so far, the 63, 65 and also the 68. It's pretty cool. I hope this video has been helpful for you. Till then, I'll see you in the next one.